This morning, this afternoon, in the few moments that I have with you, I would like to speak to you very briefly from the subject, Transcending All Dimensions. Transcending all dimensions. Why don't you look at the person next to you and say, this is the moment. If you're tweeting, you want to hashtag Transcending Dimensions, or you can at me at Elvin J. Dowling, Transcending All Dimensions. Famed essayist and psychologist Dr. Mandino once said that failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. As we assemble here today on this august occasion, I'm here to remind you that failure will not overtake you if your determination to succeed is strong enough. And I'm here to remind you that if you are to move into your new dimension and get out of your comfort zone, if you are to transcend all dimensions, there are three thoughts I'd like to leave with you to help you move through life and step into your greatness. Is that all right? Oh, come on, y'all, talk to me. Is that all right? All right. So the first thing I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is that I want to inform you that if you are going to transcend all dimensions, you must first start by changing your attitude. Why don't you look at the person next to you and say, change your attitude. Change your attitude. A noted clergyman, Dr. Charles R. Swindoll, once said that the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failure, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance or giftedness or skills. The remarkable thing is that we have a choice every day about the attitude we will bring forth to that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude.
This group means blowing up.
Great Olympic champion Scott Hamilton once said that the only disability in life is a bad attitude. By a show of hands, has anybody ever met somebody with a bad attitude? You know, my friends, as you matriculate through our home by the sea, I want to remind you and I want you to remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Some of y'all will get that when you get home. My friends, I want you to know that your attitude can be the difference between an A+ and an A. Come on. Your attitude can make or break your chances of getting a spot on the team or joining the line. Your attitude. Your attitude determines your altitude. When I was 18 years old, I was initiated into the Gamma Iota chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha right here on the campus of Hampton University. And one of the things I learned was that the test of a man is the fight that he makes. The grit he daily shows, the way he stands upon his feet and takes life's numerous bumps and blows. You see, a coward can smile when there's nothing to fear, nothing his progress bars, but it takes a man to stand and cheer when the other fellow stars. You see, it isn't the victory after all, but the fight that a fellow makes. A man, when driven against the wall, still stands erect and takes the blows of fate with his head held high. Bleeding and bruised and pale is the man who will win and fate defied because he isn't afraid to fail. How is your attitude? Throughout my time here at Hampton University, I was a military science student in the Army ROTC program, and I hated every minute of it. We would have to get up every day at 5:30 in the morning and run around the campus singing PT, PT, I like it, I love it, I want more of it, make it hurt, drill sergeant, make it hurt. And I hated it. 20 years ago, I was a student living off campus. No car, no job, just about nothing. And I would have to walk across the bridge on Settlers Landing every single morning at 5 a.m. to run around campus. And I had a bad attitude about it. My professor of military science at the time, Colonel Baylor, would tell me, he would say, Dowling, it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. Well, I minded, and it mattered. And it took me almost 20 years to change my aversion to running. I hated running, but I needed to run because time and the weight had caught up with me. As the old folks used to say, I was getting a little too big for my britches. But you know, I'm reminded of a friend who said once, he's a rather portly fellow, he says, you know, I'm scared that I'm going to get diabetes because diabetes runs in my family. And I looked at him and looked at his family, and it dawned on me that the reason diabetes runs in your family is because nobody runs in your family.